Dr. Stone, episode 13, recap, go. We start with teaching everyone how to make very dangerous chemicals. Then we move on to the ground bout, and we get to watch the first fight happen. So, what did you like? Well, let's start at the beginning. So, Senku's roadmap. I like how, at the beginning of the episode, everyone's all like, they come back with the sulfuric acid, and Kaku's like, yeah, now we can finally make this sulfa cure-all drug that we've been looking forward to. And immediately Chrome's like, do you remember that roadmap we still have to get through? And that gets everyone all dejected, and then Senku pops his happy little face in, and he says, oh, come on, guys, this is the last of the materials that we needed. Now all we need to do is process stuff, and that's the fun bit, so let's get to doing that. We can get it all done today. Which is a bold-faced lie. They don't have all of the ingredients that they need because that's the whole plot of the rest of this episode, because they find out that from the craftsman, I really need to write his name down somewhere, but they find out from the craftsman that whoever wins the ground bout is probably going to be drowned in alcohol by the villagers. So, they decide that, we really wanted to win this. Now we're really, really going to have to win this. And they decide that, hey, let's just shove as many non-combatants in here, then we can weaken and wear down some of the enemy, and we can throw games to ourselves, which, fun. But before we get into that, I really like how they have the bit of him going through and strengthening the acid that he's using. And he's scaring Suika with it. And I really like that not only do we get to see villain face Senku, which is always fun, but he gets to show off how scary what he's doing is making, and showing that, hey, don't do this at home. This is for professionals in a lab, unless you find yourself 3,500 years in the future or whatever. And yeah, so I like that it's a good way of letting the collecting be the scary bit, because this whole show, the collecting is the scary part, but like the processing and the creating of stuff is always shown to be fun, because that's the fun part of chemistry and physics, is actually doing the thing that you are trying to do, as opposed to, we have to lug around and find exactly, get all of our, chemical theory done right, make sure that everything's gonna bond properly, and make sure we have exactly what we need. That's not the fun bit. The fun bit is going hey, let me throw some potassium out of the water and watch it explode. That's the fun bit. Doing flame tests is the fun bit. Measuring out how much copper copper filings you need onto your tablespoon or whatever is not the fun bit of a flame test. The fun bit is watching Chrome throw fistfuls of iron into it and watching the flame turn blue for a little bit. But yeah, so that's my take on it, and it's pretty clearly Senku's take on it too. Then we get a little cutaway to the village elders discussing the grand bout, and all I wrote down about that scene was obvious lineages are obvious, which they kind of are. You can tell that the chief and Ruri and Kohaku are all related. And it honestly seems like Suika and Magma are going to be close family to them. We'll talk about lineages when it comes to spoilers for this episode, because something tells me I'm gonna get into that. Okay, so alright, I lied. There's one other bit that I wrote down about the elders talking. So the chief is talking to Ginro and Jinro's dad, and he's like, why is Kohaku allowed to fight? And the dude's like, hey, everyone who's older than 14 is allowed to enter. That's how the rules have always been, and rules are rules. We're gonna keep doing it this way. It doesn't matter if no one expected a woman to ever enter. This is how the rules are written. We're gonna do it this way. Now keep that in mind because it's gonna be important later. All right. But the chief says a man who can't defeat a woman has no right as chief. Dude, you go and fight your daughter. You fight your daughter in a point-based fight system, you're going to get your shit rocked. You can't win a fight against your own daughter. How are you possibly gonna say that, oh, this little magma kid's too puny to run the village. She's only our main hunter. Go fuck yourself. I ruffle my paper at you, sir. You dumb idiot. Don't even know what paper do. Oh man, I'm really good at words today. Alright, so then we get to the crew rigging the fight, and it's Ginro and Senku have teamed up and started working together, which, as a younger brother, I find absolutely beautiful. Senku was very obviously a younger brother in his past life. They're just, all they want to do is circumvent every single not rule, like every convention that everyone's ever held about this. They've got Senku on the brain power and Ginro being like, no, they're gonna say that this is an issue if we do this, we can't do that. And then Senku's like, well, what if we did it but this way? And he's like, alright, yeah, we can get along with that. That's very much how that relationship works in my mind. And oh my god, the artwork as Jinro comes over to him, as Kinro comes over to him, and you get to see his perspective of the two of them as snakes in the garden with a little apple tree in the background. It is goddamn hilarious. So that's for spoilers. I like how Chrome knows that he can't win a physical confrontation with Magma, so he sets up a target just perfectly at Magma's dick height so that he can practice going for, as he puts it, the pee-pee. And, you know what? Good on you, Chrome. I appreciate it. If he's taking your woman, make sure you can't do anything with her. This is a smart plan. I like it. So then we get to Senku comes into the village. It's a lot of fun. I like it all. And right. So we get to him coming into the village for the first time, and they draw the lots for the bracket of the grand bout. Because this episode does a lot. There's a lot that happens just in this one episode. Very good. And Suika's voice actress just murders this line. So she has a line where she's constantly repeating what is it? Ginro and Magma never meet, and Kohaku and Magma are paired up in the first round. And she's constantly repeating that over and over and over in Japanese. And maybe it just sounds more impressive, like the line reading sounds more impressive because I don't speak the language. But my god, it sounds like she does all of this in like one extended breath. And I know that like it could be editing tricks, but like I've seen the Dragon Ball Z voice actors scream for like 3 minutes straight. I've seen those clips. So like it's not unheard of for this to be within human capacity. And that line delivery, she absolutely just goes for it and kills it. And they set up the music behind it. It's a perfect way of building the tension for us and getting us as hyped up for these fights that are coming as the characters. And like it builds up the tension and the nervousness and how excited and anxious everyone is. Really, really good. And it all weighs on that voice line. So good on you. It's amazing. This episode is worth watching for a million reasons, most of which I haven't gotten into yet. That one line reading is worth watching. It's just so good. It's really, really, really good. Alright, so then, Jesus. So then we get to, child murder. This, it's a good thing that I don't have enough viewers to be monetized on YouTube, otherwise I'd have to do the YouTube thing and complain about being demonetized. But yeah, we get into, some child murder. Little man that follows Magma around. They say his name like 4 times in this episode, but he's such a bastard I'm not even gonna say it. He needs... I don't know. It's probably not okay to make a midget joke, because it's not like I have anything against short people. Or little people. Fuck me. Dude, this is gonna come out so bad. Alright. But no, I need to come up with a name for little man. But yeah, so you killed that guy though, right? Like, so he overhears that Suika is gonna go get some more plants from a river. And then right before Kohaku's match, he comes up to the grand bout and he's all like, oh no, Suika's fallen into the river and she's gonna drown if someone doesn't help her. Kohaku, you're the fastest, so you need to go over there. You kill him. You just murder that man. So here. I'm not one to just like jump to a conclusion. I'm not. But there's only 3 possible things that happened here. So let's go through all 3 of them one at a time. And this is not even what happens, because what does happen is one of these 3 things. But any one of these 3 things, probably just kill the guy. So the first one is he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. She just fell in the river. And someone needed to save her. So he left the river. He decided someone needs to help this poor girl who's drowning and going to die. Someone needs to help her. I recognize that she needs help. Who, me? No, I'm not gonna fucking do it. No. I'll let this small child fucking drown. You kill someone if they just watch a child fucking drown and walk away. That's like when you see the people that are like... It's like when you hear about the dickhead YouTubers that will, like, shove a beaten puppy underneath a 2x4 and then, like, drag it out and be like, I rescued this. It's like, no, you're an animal abuser and you're looking for likes. You're a piece of shit. Seriously, if you let a 5-year-old drown in a river by herself, I hope you die. Not even in, like, a dignified way. You don't deserve the electric chair. Like, we find out whatever your allergy is and then put you in a room of nothing but that. Like, I want you to vomit and shit yourself to death. Alright, so number 2. He's lying. This is actually the most forgivable, is if he's just a liar. So he's lying, everyone recognizes that he's a liar. But hey, remember that thing that I said was going to be important earlier in this episode? The chief can't mess with the tradition of this grand bout. So why is it okay that little man can? What? So there's this ancient tradition that not even your leader can mess with and get away with. Why is this asshole actually allowed to do the direct interference that they even talk about isn't okay in the tournament later? There's a lot of forgiveness for this character who doesn't deserve it. So yeah, so best case scenario, he's just a liar, probably deserves some jail time. Like, jail time. Like, throw him in a cage for however many months lying about a child murder to upset literally thousands of years of tradition is worth to these tribal people, which, you know, I'm pretty sure there are some people in that village that would say put him to death, but I don't think it would be the majority. Just throw him in a cell. Make him think about what he's done and show everyone maybe even until the next grand bout happens, what happens to people who rig the grand bout. I think that that's justifiable. If not even the chief can mess with the tradition, then a lowly villager should not be able to mess with the tradition and get away with it. Alright, so, option 3. Yeah, this is getting real heavy. You thought that I was gonna be like, haha, child murder, light and happy. Nope. I'm not okay with child murder now that I own a child, that I have made. I'm not neat with them being destroyed. So finally 3, is he pushed her into the river so that he wouldn't be lying. And we've made our way back to murder, everybody! And, yeah, number 3 is basically what happened. So he didn't push her into the river, he tied her up to a tree, which, is the same thing. He put her in a life-threatening situation. If Kohaku hadn't have come to try and save her, well, if this wasn't an anime and Kohaku hadn't have tried to come and save her, then she would have just gotten eaten by a wolf. Or a bear, or whatever the local fauna of Japan that eats people is. I mean, worst case scenario, it's like monkeys, I think. Like, you don't want to get eaten by monkeys. That's a bad time. And, like, that's what he... So that is his crime. This is what he actually did. He committed violence against, like, a 5 or 6-year-old. Tied her to a tree, and then left her for dead. Why? Why don't we just kill him? There should be a sword through his face. I know they don't have... They got spears. There should be a spear through every single inch of his artery. Is there, like... There should not be an arm or a leg that doesn't have 12 different spear wounds in this guy. He can rot in hell. He's actually worse than Magma. Magma talks a big game about, oh, I'm gonna go kill my wife. This piece of shit, oh my god, it's Alex Jones. Oh my god. It's just any hardcore political figure talking a big game, and then a little stupid idiot taking actual violent actions in their stead. Holy shit. No politics, Gordon! Stop breaking the rules! Okay, I just bombshelled myself. I'm sorry about that. We'll get back to your regularly scheduled programming. Alright, child murder over. We're done with that. Whole topic. But yeah, kill the little guy. He deserves it. Alright, so, now we come to one of the most noble things, I think. I think I'll go with noble. So, Kohaku loves her sister dearly. Her whole character motivation up until now has been, I want to save my sick sister because I love her and I don't want her to die. Really good characterization. And everything that she does seemingly is to make Ruri better. However, in this moment, when the cards are on the table and she is, like, actively in the pitch of being able to help her sister, there's someone's life who is directly in danger. And Kohaku thinks to herself, and she recognizes that everyone's life is just as important as her sister's. And it would be very easy for her to be selfish and just say, Mantle, that's the little guy's name. Kill Mantle, I hope he dies. No redeeming qualities. So, Kohaku, back to Kohaku. She recognizes that, like I said, no one life should be held higher than another. Even if it's just some random 5-year-old villager, as opposed to your sister, the high priestess of the village, soon to be your new chief's wife. Those two people are equally important in the long run, and you need to do your best to help as many people as you can. And she recognizes that, hey, I am fighting for my sister, but I'm not fighting alone for my sister, and I am the only one who can go save Suika. So I'm gonna go save Suika, and I'm going to trust that my friends can help save my sister. That is awesome. That's real power of friendship shit. And we're going to get into the power of friendship here in a minute, because the power of friendship is like the number one thing about the end of this episode. Alright, so after yeah, so on the note of Kohaku and Rui, I wrote, Kohaku loves Rui, but she doesn't hold one life above another. That is some Zen shit right there. I like my own way of writing. Alright. So after that we get the start of the first fight of the grand bout. And looks like all of their best efforts didn't pan out, because it's Magma versus Kinro. And it starts out in kind of a sexy way. So it starts with Magma saying, Kinro, join me, be my right-hand man. I don't dislike strong men. Come lick my feet, and I'll take that as your subjugation. And it's like, damn, Magma, you don't want to kill Rory because you don't want a sick wife. You want to kill Rory because, damn, you don't want a wife, man. Like, just tell him, like, hey, Kinro, you're handsome. I want in that. No. Oh God. But no, I just think that's like that's like two super crazy homoerotic lines, like back to back. Like, I don't dislike strong men. Come play with my feet. Hey, I thought we were fighting with these big poles in our hands, not the big poles in our pants. Shut up, Gordon. That's inappropriate. No kids watch this show. I'm actually going schizophrenic, like on mic. So, things are going well. It's an even match. Then Magma makes some space, and Kinro, his fuzzy sickness, gets in the way right as Suika comes back, because it's an anime and Suika can basically teleport. So Suika's back in the picture, and anime is happening, and Magma lands a solid blow against Kinro, and he's down for the count, and he can't move. But no, he must fight on. What he's doing is important as he thinks about his friends. And at that moment, Suika calls his name, and she gets some extra leverage by rolling down the stairs for the temple she's not allowed in. And she throws the helmet, and there's a moment where, even though the nearsighted person is looking at a small object far in the distance that is a light color on against the clouds in the sky, it doesn't matter. He jumps, and there's a Gurren Lagann transformation scene, and it's fucking amazing. It is so good. Oh my god, Kinro wins with the power of anime, friendship, and science. I might be a fucking weeb, ladies and gentlemen, but this show panders to weebs so goddamn well. I love everything about the Kinro fight at the end of this episode. It's so good. I think it's also partially because it's just a love letter to people who wear glasses, and or a love letter from people who wear glasses to just the scientific community in general, because, thank you. Thank you. We couldn't do shit without you. I'd be dead by now if I didn't have my proper eyesight. Oh my god. This is a good episode. I just wore myself out talking about how good this episode is. So, what did you not like? Nothing? I'm pretty sure it's nothing. There's not a whole lot to not like in this episode. They talk about chemistry. They make fun of people who attack the dick in a one-on-one fight. It's just good. I like it. It's a good episode. So, oh my god, I'm already at 25 minutes. That was a good what did you like section. Alright, so, spoilers. Let's talk about some lineages. So, Wait, no. There's the other thing. There's the other spoiler thing that I specifically failed to mention. So, when Senku walks into the, this is spoilers, by the way. Spoilers. When Senku walks into the village, Ruri sees him, and she hears that his name is Senku. She says, "Oh, I know Senku." And she's like, "What? Have you met him?" Well, no, I haven't met him, obviously, but I know who he is. She's like, I know that he is from far, far in the past. And at that point, that's some irony because, like, the viewers know stuff that our main character doesn't know, and we're just like, hang on, that's not right. And then we're like, haha, we're gonna be smarter than Senku for like 5 seconds. And then she goes ahead and destroys that irony by walking up to him, and she's like, hey, your name's Senku, right? And he's like, yeah, you're the priestess, huh? And she's like, what's your last name? And there's this cutaway of Senku's face, and it's like on a black background, and it's just radiating these these flames of like anxiety and curiosity about what the hell? How does she know about second names? Literally no one since I've woken up has talked about second names. And then of course she faints, so we can't have a real conversation. But this is a good setup for what's happening because there's some mystery to this. Like you get to recognize that this village does have a connection with our world, the pre-stoned world. And that's all that it lets you know. We're not going to tell you how these people are here. We're not going to tell you, a whole lot about them. But we'll give you another breadcrumb. See if you can figure out a little bit about what, how does this priestess know anything, let alone what does she know about Senku in particular. And it's cool. It's cool. I like it. And we get to be as bewildered as Senku in this moment, because I don't quite think at this point anyone's entirely ready to take the jump that Senku's adopted father was part of the International Space Station and went up and then safely returned to Earth with no help and then set up a society. Like, I'm not going to lie, I think around this episode I started thinking about the space stations, but in my mind I thought that whatever the light was that turned everyone to stone would have either gotten through and got everyone in the ISS, or I actively had the thought, no, it's kind of just too ridiculous to think that they would be able to make the return trip properly without, instruments working and stuff. But yeah, I was wrong. I came up with the right solution, and then I just kind of dismissed it, which happens, especially when it's just watching anime for the first time or whatever. But no, I like it. So, oh Jesus, I need to find a big takeaway. All right, closing segment. Is there anything more that I like? Any more that I don't like? I'd say I talked about this episode pretty well over the last half an hour. So what's the big takeaway? No matter how hard you cheat, sometimes the world just wants you to play an honest game. No, I think the real big takeaway is don't murder fucking 5-year-olds. Yeah, don't murder them, like stop them from fucking or whatever. But like, no, don't kill 5-year-olds. It's not good. I'll be upset if you murder a 5-year-old, so don't do it.